First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother the Waba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And I always listen to this guy, Integrated Preparedness. I listen to him here and there. You know, he always has some information or says something that's interesting that'll, be for a good lesson. And he just said something here. I was just listening to him. He was talking about how the world is evil. But then he came up on this point where he said up and said that the Lord made us to be in joy and all this other stuff. And I'm going to sit up here and say, wrong. I'm going to sit up here and get a few scriptures. I'm going to let him sit up here and say what he got to say. Play about a minute of it, and I'm gonna grab a few scriptures on this. So here we go.
It's the attitude of negativity. Negativity is evil because the good Lord put us down here not to have a life of worry or fear or negativity, but to have a life of joy. Now that sounds rather odd. How do we find joy in an evil world? Well, it has to do with being in the world but not of it. If you have separated yourself from the evil of the world through your faith in Jesus Christ, he gives you a peace, as he says, that surpasses all understanding. So that no matter what happens around,
I'm gonna sit up here and did that, but you sit up here and say he said the Lord said he gave us a life of gave them a life of joy. He's supposed to, like everybody has supposed to have a life of joy. Y'all understand where I'm going with that point, but here it is. He don't understand. There's a purpose for y'all Edomites. There's a purpose for everything that the Lord has done. Everything, So with that, man, let me sit up here and get a scripture. Now, when it's all said and done, there's going to be joy on earth. But first things got to happen first. There's a few things that got to happen first, man. You Edomites going to have to be put in y'all place. And there's a few other things that got to happen, And then after 1,000 years, y'all done away with. So whatever joy you talking about, no. But here, first things first. Let me sit up here and grab a few scriptures. So let me sit up here and grab. First, I want to grab Exodus. 19. This is Exodus 19. Because this is pertaining to the Israelites. So I'm going to sit up here and grab Exodus 19, and then I'm going to sit up here and grab something for the Edomites. Then I'm going to sit up here and grab something all around. So, and this is our purpose, point blank, period. So when you look at the purpose of the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you look at the purpose of the Edomites, the so-called white people, and then you're going to look at the purpose of the other heathen nations, you Ishmaelites, you Moabites, you Ammonites, which is, Arabs, Chinese, and Japanese, and, and so forth and so on. But here, this is Exodus 19:5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So, and the holy means separate. So we, if we was to keep the law, statutes, commandments like we were told to do so, the Lord said we would be those people, a holy nation separate above, and a nation of people that's his inheritance. That's what we were meant to be. A nation of kings and priests. And that's what's going to happen. But things have to play out the way they got to play out, This movie ain't got to its final climax yet. With that, let me sit up here and go into Deuteronomy chapter 7 in verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord thy power loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, had the Lord brought you out of with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So then that was another thing. The Lord kept a promise to Abraham. Point blank, period. And the Lord don't go back on his word. But we are a peculiar people to the Lord. We are his treasure. We are his inheritance. And he made us for a purpose. Not just for himself, like he made everything else, but to be those judges and kings and priests, which I'm about to get to in Revelations. Actually, again, there's Isaiah. Let me go to Isaiah. I'm going to go to Isaiah. I think that's a little bit more for the, and then this is more geared toward the men, you know, when it comes to talk about them kings and priests. Hold on. Isaiah. Am I in the right spot? I think I am. I think I'm right. Oh, wait a minute. I might be in the wrong spot. I think this might be the other one that I was looking for. The other. No, this was the other one I was looking at. Where's the other one I was looking for? This was it was Psalms 2 and 10. Damn, I was getting confused here. Psalms 2 and 10. I'm confusing myself. Psalms 2 and 10. This is Psalms 2 and verse 10. It says, "Be wise now, therefore, ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth." So that's what we were meant to be. Kings, for you men, judges of the earth. And that's what's going to happen. 144,000, you know, and then our people are going to be in their right mind. You know, they're going to be keeping the law, statute, commandments to perfectly in the kingdom. And we're going to be those people. We're going to be those that inheritance, those chosen people of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know. But the 144,000, what is our job? We're going to be those kings and those judges of the earth, you know. Now, this was the point I was trying to make with Isaiah, you know. No, I don't want to do that one yet. Let me sit up here and go to, Deuteronomy. Let me go to Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Because now you got the Edomites, the so-called white people, and what did the Lord? What was and what is their job? I'll tell you what their job is. Where is that? This is Deuteronomy 28. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And there you go. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And when you look at that word, when you look at it swift as an eagle, when you look at the bird that Esau loves flying, that's the national bird, it's the eagle. You know, point blank, period. So these are little puzzle pieces that you put together. These are little hints that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai put in the Bible that let us know who's who. You know, but you got to have that spirit in you to understand. But this nation, these Edomites, their job is what? The Lord said that, hey, we're going to bring these people against you for what? Because we kept going off. A people of fierce countenance, a people that would show no favor, violent, brutal, you know. And even King David spoke of it. Psalms, you know. I think it's Psalm 17. What is that? Psalm 17 and this is Psalm 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. That's Malachi 1 and 4. You know, point blank, period. What's the sword? His sword. The sword. Esau was given a blessing. What was his blessing? The sword. That's Genesis 27. Around, you know, somewhere between 41, 48, you know, between 41 and 48, I believe. You know, but that was his blessing, the sword. Esau, Edom. And what is King David sitting up here saying? He's saying, hey, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Esau, Edom is that sword of the Lord. To punish. Let me see. I think this is in Proverbs. It could be in Psalm. Let me go to Proverbs real quick. I think it's Proverbs 16. I could be wrong. Yeah, here it is. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord had made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. What's the day of evil? The Lord, the coming of the day of the Lord, to destroy this place and destroy these Edomites and get them out of rulership. So yeah, y'all have a purpose, and y'all purpose ain't joy. Let's get that point straight. And y'all false ass Messiah, that's what y'all believe in with him. But the Lord got other plans for you motherfuckers. Yeah, how about Shimi Hawashai got other plans for you goddamn devils? And it ain't joy. What it says, Proverbs 16:4, the Lord had made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yes, y'all were made for a purpose, to be the Lord's whooping stick to the Israelites, and also you was made to be destroyed, for putting your hands on us. Point blank, period. And if you're going a little further, let's go into Romans here, because that sums y'all up just as well too. Romans, what is that? 20, matter of fact, I could just 21. It says, hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory? So all these things was done before the earth was made. All this stuff was already, everything was already mapped out before the Lord did anything. All this was predestined. Period. The wraths of dishonor, which are you Edomites, you so-called white people, and the wraths of honor, which are the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. Point blank, period, man. So everybody got a purpose, and your purpose is not going to be to have joy. Yeah, the Lord blessed you with a kingdom to have whatever you have, but that's only for a short period of time, because when you think about eternity, man, and after y'all 1,000 years is up, y'all gonna be destroyed. And let's talk about the so-called, the Edomites, the so-called white people. After that 1,000 years, y'all gonna be wiped off, And I'm thinking that y'all spirit's gonna be dispersed through the other nations, And now that I'm gonna get that Isaiah 60, because that's where my mind was when I brought it up to Isaiah 60, and what it says. So here it is. And see, this is going to be for you other nations just as well. It says Isaiah 60 and 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be bought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. There you go. So your nation, these other nations are here to serve the Israelites. So everybody got their purpose. But if you're a king, you need servants. And you need servants. And guess who's going to be serving you? Other nations. Point blank, period. And Shalakia for me being all over the place. I hope y'all got some I hope y'all got some edification out of this, but he set up and brought up a point that the Lord made us to enjoy ourselves. No, you Edomites, yeah. He gave y'all a rulership, a kingdom for a certain period of time, and now it's about to be over. Point blank, period. Now, and I'm going to grab this. I was going to end it on that, but I will grab this real quick. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and the people are mourning right now. But it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And you're right. There will be joy on the earth once you Edomites are wiped out. Once y'all 1,000 years is up, and then everything going to be put back in its place. We're going to be those kings and judges, the 144,000 mighty men. The heathen nations outside of you Edomites are going to have their own place. And then you Edomites are going to be burnt off the face of the fucking planet. You know, after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. You know, so like I said before, I hope this was a little edifying. I like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the whole that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I like to say Kwam Yasharella and Abba Babal and Ayahabadam Malakiam. Shalom.